just turn around and I'm gone again. Maybe tomorrow I'll settle down. Maybe tomorrow we'll just keep moving on. So as SHIB moves on, and it has moved up approximately 12.5% today. It did go all the way up to 16.7. It's come down a little bit. The trading volume has picked up a little bit earlier this morning, and now it's kind of tapered off in the afternoon, leading into the evening. For those having a birthday, we always want to welcome you to the channel and make sure that you like and subscribe when you can. So we're going to sing you, if it's your birthday, happy birthday to you. Zier's in the house. Welcome, Zier. Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday, happy birthday. Happy birthday to you. And many more. You won't be here long? Oh, sorry about that, Zier. Tonight's segment is going to be a doozy. More information on the ETFs. $700 million going to be tied up in ETFs and EPTs. Bad news for SHIB, though, because that tie-up won't be able to be burned off, unfortunately. Unless, of course, someone buys out the ETF. Friday night means late night gaming. Oh, late night gaming. Excellent. So is it Texas Hold'em, Ultimate Texas Hold'em, Cowboy Styles, or is it 5-card stud? So what do you, or do you play like Rami? Zier. Rami's nice, eh? Because it gives you a diversification. It's not all about the 5-card stud. It's about aces high, kings high. It gives you a little bit of diversification. So it's not just one game that you're playing for 5 or 6 hours. A lot of people like Texas Hold'em because it's easy to play. It's easy to understand. So anyway, if you're not into that kind of jazz, maybe you're into SHIB jazz. Got some new information for you on the ETF and EPTs. Of course, the max that they're looking at is $700 million US stuck in the ETFs and EPTs, and more coming as more filings from around the world are taking advantage of it. Now, Grayscale has put out a spot ETF that they're filing. They haven't filed it yet, but they are looking at filing in the United States, a spot ETF for SHIB. So that means that Grayscale is putting forth their own, which is fantastic, sort of. But that also means that they're a massive bank with what? Massive manipulation into it. So what does that mean for you and I? Well, that means it's going to be very interesting, to say the least, to see how much is going to be held, or are they going to accumulate more and more and more and more in the ETF? So if they accumulate more in the United States of America, that means there's less available for the rest of the world. You understand that message? So it's going to be very interesting, considering that how much SHIB is being held by India, Africa, and of course Russia. And Russia hasn't made an announcement yet, but I'm pretty sure that they're going to not want to be missing out on that. Because their ties to the Europe are highly regulatory. So that's going to be very interesting to see how that works out. This ghost game called something quick. Okay, fair enough. Zier, fair enough. I have no idea what ghost game called phobia. Phasm phobia. Okay, we're going to get into... I'm going to try and find it. Okay, the War Room. Everybody wants to talk about the War Room. So AI, is now taking a backbench to the ETFs and EPTs for obvious reasons. The tie-up of T-ROW, T.ROWE, has filed a 14 cryptocurrency ETF. And in there, SHIB is in there. 1.7 trillion SHIB in that fund. That's going to be exposed this month. Now, we already had Brazil, and massive love show to the Brazilians because of them following me on the website. Absolutely phenomenal. Onion Rings 101. Hello, Onion Rings. How are you? If it's your anniversary, we like to sing happy anniversary. Happy, 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 happy anniversary. Happy, 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 happy anniversary. Happy anniversary. For all those that are having an anniversary, massive love shout out to you. Of course, if you're new to the channel, please like and subscribe. We love it when people come in and say a few little anecdotes, see how things are going. We're going to get right into the global crypto buzz driving the volatility. Okay, roundtable talk for SHIB. Roundtable talk, global sparks in community fire. Driving the SHIB radar is spot on. Globally, November has been a mix of burns, ecosystems, teases, of course, Reliance, they have zero, amid the crash. Key headlines from wires worldwide. Burn rate explosion. I wouldn't call it an explosion, but anyway. In the last 24 hours, we had an increase of 674%. We have burned over 12 million SHIB in the last 24 hours, which is fantastic. But it's nowhere near where we need to be. That's why we're coming out with the book, time-stamping book, so that people understand. GM can start doing it. If they start doing it, they'll probably end up hiring more people because it's going to create wealth within their organization. And that every time that there's an incident or wouldn't say an incident as an incident like someone gets hurt or an injury, not like that. This is where they ordered the wrong part, or the wrong part that came in. They got more of these parts than they were supposed to get. The parts that were supposed to get, they didn't get any of. That kind of incident. White. Hello, White. How are you? Or do you want to be called Dooley? Duly noted. Massive love shout out to you. Yes, well, this is the SHIB community. So if you haven't noticed, SHIB has gone up in value in the last 24 hours. In case you guys have missed it. Right now we're sitting at 4010163. It was up earlier to 253. 10253. So it just broke there and then it came right back down. We should see a spike upward because now it's consolidation. People, oh, it spiked. Sell. Not realizing that there's EPTs and ETFs coming out in SHIB. It's already out in Brazil and it's already out in Switzerland. So Brazil last month in October filed theirs. So theirs got released in Brazil. So massive love show to Brazil for their ETF. Massive love show to Switzerland, which was in February of this year. Again, we don't know exactly how much is being held back in Switzerland. Go figure. Brazil, we are looking into it. But as far as I know, it's a bunch of it's a bunch of cryptocurrencies. It's not just one cryptocurrency in Brazil. It's not a spot. Now, T-ROW, theirs is a 14 mix. So it's got ADA in there. It's got Ethereum. It's got Bitcoin. It's got BNB. It's got XRP. It's got XLM. Hype, I believe, is in there. They don't have H bar. They don't have H bar. I believe they have DOT also in their ETF. So that's going to be filed. That's already filed, guys. So it's coming out. Ball Cap in the house. How are you, Ball Cap? What else is going on? Price action predictions. We don't like price predictions, but we'll get into some of it. 5% short-term derivatives. But the biggest part of the 700 million is going to be stuck in the ETF. Please be very mindful of that. That's approximately, what was it that I was looking at? 26% of the total supply. Analysts spot filing wedge breakouts eyeing 20 to 70% gains with 82 trillion SHIB exiting exchanges. Okay, so 82 trillion. Okay, 82 trillion SHIB being held by the ETFs. Wow. Can we say wow together? From Asia, US ETF rumors, settlement title recovery, team called crash, unpredicted. But devs worked 10 days straight to shield network. Global Echo, that's the Shibarium network. Sorry, guys, that's the Shibarium 2 blockchain. We don't support. We do support them if they're starting to reduce SHIB, absolutely. But if they're not, then we don't support them. We want everyone to support this channel because 80% of everything we make from this channel goes directly into the reduction of SHIB. And we'll get right into the SHIB worldwide raffle, or worldwide SHIB raffle, which isn't a raffle. If you're a winner, everybody wins in this raffle. It can't be a raffle because you're basically putting money into reducing the circulating supply while we're hosting a winner with the other half of it. So there's no downside to the raffle. So it's not gambling. And everybody, please be aware of this. If we make ETFs, and if I got some hands, we'll do some ETFs in the raffle tickets because they're one in a lifetime opportunity. So it's going to be what? History in the making with the tickets. Why? Well, because it's limited tickets available, which is true. We can only give you what we have for the supply of SHIB. The other one is we're the first ones to ever have a worldwide raffle, guys. This is amazing. And there's no downside to it. It's a win-win situation for every single one of us that's involved in it. So it's a no-brainer, right? To me, it's a no-brainer, but to everyone else, you tell me how you feel about that. If everybody wins. Everybody wins. So you bought SHIB. Yep. We're going to reduce the supply with it. Wow. That's awesome. And then the winner gets 50% of this. Yeah, that's awesome. That's a win-win. Everybody wins. Absolutely. Everybody wins. Why isn't it gone globally? Why hasn't people started talking about it? Exactly. Why haven't they started talking about it? If it's that positive and that lucrative, why wouldn't they start talking about it? Unless they want it suppressed. They don't want to talk about it. They want to make sure that there's lots of trolls continually fleeting the market so that you don't want to share that information with anybody. Because if everybody is making lots and lots of money, everybody wants to share that news with everybody. Everybody does. It's just human nature. Look, I got into this raffle draw, and there's no downside to it. I'm winning money every single time that they hold a raffle. And if we were doing it 24 hours, which I was doing it 24 hours, I backed off and did it monthly now. If you looked on the website, you would see that. And we're not getting away from SHIB. It's absolutely 100% about SHIB. The website is to educate everybody with the reduction. Reduction means value. Value goes back into the community, SHIB community. For every single wall holder that's holding it, you're getting more value for your dollar. People don't see it because it's brand new. SHIB has been around for 5 years, but the burns have only been around for 4. And a lot of people don't understand the burns because they don't understand the concept of it because they're more interested in what they can spend or borrow to spend than actually seeing something that's adding value to their dollar every time that there's a reduction. They just don't get that concept. I get it. It takes a while, but it will come around because it's not something you see every day. You never see it. That's how limited it is for everybody. Okay, power, SHIB strategies, simulating wealth and supply squeezes. We're just talking about that, wealth and supply squeezes. Now, AI, War Room, 7 p.m. Let's arm with the math. Mathematical amp scarcity. If the SHIB burn equals 589 trillion. So AI is being stripped because of the ETFs. So if anyone's interested, that's what's happening right now. The ETFs are taking over. We have EPTs in Switzerland. We have the ETF in Brazil. And now we have Roe. And now we have Grayscale. Grayscale hasn't filed theirs yet, but they're filing. Yeah, I'm still not well, so please bear with me. Max is in the house. Max Rogers. SHIB at 5 zeros now. Yes, SHIB at 5 zeros now. Was at 4 zeros. No, it's not at 5 zeros. Ball cap. SHIB is at 4 zeros. 10164. It was at 5 zeros this morning. And it's bounced back nicely. It went up 12.86, I believe. Max Rogers in the house. So anyone that's interested in SHIB, we're glad to have you come in. And if you're new to the channel, make sure you like, subscribe, and comment. Don't be shy. Me, oh my. Yeah, so I'm still not well. So this is going to be a short broadcast tonight. We'll give you an update on the website. We're also going to give you an update on the ETFs and the EPTs, massive buys resolution. So like BitGet, AI arena pit bots against each other on SHIB. That's right, SHIB from BitGet's AI platform. So if you were wondering, it's continuing. Winners, buys, stimulate billions, optimizing ROI, 53. So they're allowed. What's happening is they've started a game to simulate protocols. eToro's copy trading lets you mirror AI's whales and build custom agents. Zoark AI presents at 12 cents, or no, sorry, 1.012 cents for SHIB focus forecast. 58 tonight meeting. So it's a prototype SHIB Entertainment bot simulated 1 billion tokens. Buys a fraction of AI's protocol. So what they're doing is they're allowing others to simulate what's going on with SHIB. So it's very interesting how they're doing it, but that's not like an AI platform. That's more like a gaming platform. Okay. Spotlight, T, roll, price, game, change filing. Big one, 1.7 trillion. Asset manager, price dropped S1 from the SEC on October 22nd. Active crypto ETF explicit listings of SHIB of 5 of the 15 eligible asset alongside BTC, ETH, Solana, and Doge. This marks the first ever spot ETF filing in the United States of America to include SHIB. Open doors for TradeFi, infos, and validating the ecosystem. It's not validating anything with the ecosystem, but anyway, all it is giving them a revenue stream. Will SHIB make you a millionaire? Okay, first of all, got to get into the disclaimer. SHIB is a cryptocurrency. It's highly volatile. I'm not your broker or your analyst, so please, everything that we take in here, please take it with a grain of salt. It's for your entertainment purposes only. Our suggestion, if we were to suggest anything at all, is treat SHIB like a raffle ticket or a lottery ticket, sorry. Whatever you spend in a lottery ticket, that's what you spend in SHIB. Don't put too much, don't put your eggs in one basket, and do not buy it all at once. Mark Rogers, yes, it will. I can't tell you what to put your money into, and we have no idea when it's going to happen. We know it's inevitable. SHIB is going to go through the roof. It's inevitable. How do you know that? Well, anything that's constantly reducing its circulating supply, constantly adding value to every single holder in the world, it's only a matter of time before they catch on to it. There's 5.3 billion people out there. How many of them are happy not making any more money? How many people do you think are happy where they're at? They don't need a dime more. Okay, well, those people are few, very few. Well, majority of the people are, they need more money. Everything is going up. Cost of living has gone up. Everything's gone up. Everybody needs more money. So how are you going to get more money? If something's always constantly reducing its circulating supply, and with the ETFs, they're not reducing the circulating supply, they're withholding that supply. So basically, that's like staking it, taking it out of the market, and putting it in an ETF. Yes, it's more secure. There's more chances of it going up slowly because there's so many different aspects to it. If it's a spot ETF, it's completely different, like BTC. If you notice that spot ETF went through the roof because it's got limited supply. It doesn't have an absorbent amount of supply. It's got a limited supply. SHIB, it has a huge supply order. Very little people know about it, and very little people know what that means for everybody. If it keeps up, we don't want to say it will. We just know about the halving. So what we have is fear of missing out. And because of BlackRock buying enormous amount of BTC, it caused an inflow with the ETF. So it happened a lot sooner, in other words. So BTC went up, and it went to 125,000. And from there, it's kind of come down. Now, we usually get a 60% correction in BTC before we see altcoins spike up, because everybody rolls out of Bitcoin and moves into altcoins. And then what happens after altcoins go up, they hit all-time highs beyond their all-time high, and then they start selling and they start buying meme coins. Why? Because the money, they watch the flow of money. So it creates wealth generational, because what happens is there's more people coming in, creates FOMO. And they know this. It's what every 4 years it does this exact same cycle. This year we're 1 month behind. So please take that with a grain of salt. Remember, this is for your entertainment purposes only. I'm not your financial advisor. I'm not your broker. I can't give you an indefinite answer because I just don't know. We are looking at this year as a spike upward, though, because this is supposed to be the massive generation run. If you look at BTC and where it ran, you're looking at, from here, about a 50x return on your money in SHIB. But we don't know if it's this month. We don't know if it's coming. I know that once it happens, it'll only be a few days. So you only have like 27, 28 days from the time that it starts to spike. We had one today. So from this day, if it continues to go up, 20, 30%, 40% tomorrow, 50%, and then all of a sudden it starts doubling. That's when you know you're in a bull cycle. And we're in a massive bull run. That's how you know. So that's the things to look for. At least that's what. Shadow. Yeah. Who is it? Is it Rogers? Max? Max says yes. So whatever that means. Will SHIB make you a millionaire? If you got the stomach for it and you can hold on, it will make you extremely wealthy. I wouldn't go into making you a millionaire. I would say it'd make you extremely wealthy fairly quickly. But you got to know, everybody has their out. Okay? You start seeing AI patterns. We're getting into the AI patterns, but ETFs kind of put a tantrum on that because it locks so much SHIB away. So you could have a supply crunch. That's absolutely true, especially if AI starts its simulations. Like we already saw the bots being used in games to simulate burns and buy-ins. So it's going to be very interesting to see what comes out of that. But that would take about anywhere between 5 and 6 months from now. Grayscale, October 25th, Mark Byte reports spot SHIB into the FTSE Grayscale. So everybody, you listening to this? FTSE Grayscale crypto sectors framework under the customer and culture, making it official. Eligibility for the ETF under the US rules. This filing is a green light for the future products and team hyping, as is good news for holders amid burn torches 8 million SHIB tokens post filings. European echoes Valor. Remember I talked about that yesterday, Wednesday. Valor. SHIB EPT is ready, live on Sweden Spotlight stock market, giving the EU investors, regulators access to SHIB EPT. Filed and is now live for every single one of them in Europe. Very positive news since February. Right, since February of this year. So massive. Love shout out to Switzerland and the European nations for noting SHIB, and that's a huge step in the right direction. It's going to be interesting to see how many investors invest in SHIB through Europe. Remember, euros are a lot higher, and pounds are a lot higher than the Canadian dollar and American dollar. That's right, Mark Anthony. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. Ball cap, you love that? Big thumbs up, right? That's awesome news. Everybody needs to know about that because that's the driving force of SHIB. Brazilian joins the party. Hashdex, local, crypto, ETF added SHIB in a multi-set basket. So it's not just one for Brazil. Blending with major and diversified exposure. Another nod to global recognition for SHIB. So that's exactly what we want, right? But that, again, locks up so much SHIB from the rest of the world. So we can't reduce the circulating supply to the core. So please be aware of that. But it does lock it up, puts it like in a staking option for people. It's not easy to get. Once you're into the ETF, it's easy, right? Then you sell the ETF to another person who wants to buy the ETF. That's how it works. So the more people that's buying it and selling it, you also see where it's coming from. But it's in a pool. Make a difference. We don't know how much SHIB is sitting in that pool. We know for a fact the USD, from Roll is 1.7 trillion SHIB that's being held. And we do know that there is approximately 84 trillion SHIB going to be held by those ETFs and EPTs. Now, can that change? Grayscale can change that at will when their spot ETF comes available. And its eligibility to be unlocked. Grayscale's already filed. So guys, please be aware of that. October, the doesn't say the exact date that they filed. Scan wires for X for the hit list. Hong Kong, Croatia, Taiwan, Japan, Yakistan, Tibet, Mongolia, Africa. Crypto booming in this. ETF EPT announcements. Critical. So far, there's the breakdown. ETFs. So Solana has approval for Hong Kong ETF, with a 70% over, wealthiest investors eyeballing. They're more focused on BTC and ETH stables and stablecoins. Japan eyeing banked digital assets, general altcoin buzz. There is no mention of SHIB on Taiwan or Japan. You know for a fact, when people start talking about it, what happens? It starts to move on it. So what happens when those are very successful in those ETF fundamentals that are carried on? Everybody's talking about it. Everybody wants it a part of their portfolio in their own country because they want the money to stay in their country. They don't want you investing it abroad. So it's only a matter of time before they catch on to it and start taking advantage of it, especially if they're doing very well in it. So once it starts the ball rolling, everybody wants a part of the pie. You got it. So that was the whole purpose of the SHIB TV in the first place, was to bring awareness for everybody around the world. Because we love everybody. We want to make sure that everybody becomes what? Wealthy. Prosperous. Prosperity. We want every single one of you to be very prosperous. $400 spike. No. I cashed in a little bit, bought more when it came down, but of course, I'm fearful. I live by fear alone. My whole thing is that I know what SHIB is. I don't know what the rest of the world knows about it. I know for a fact that they have very little knowledge on it. They're all thinking the same thing. Even when you ask AI about SHIB and its predictions, the first thing they talk about is it can't ever get anywhere because of the supply order. What they don't realize is that when you go into them and ask them, okay, so exactly how much is left in circulation supplied today that's being traded? The first thing that happens is there's only 125 trillion SHIB being that's able to trade on a daily basis. Well, what happened to the 589 trillion? Then it gives you the breakdown of how much is actually in circulation. Then it comes back and says that there's only about 100 trillion. So what happened to the 25 trillion that you told us that, or said something about? Then it doesn't know what doesn't know. And then it gives you, oh, it's only about 82 trillion. Well, now it's depleting right in front of us at a blink of an eye. So basically, whatever they're looking up isn't working because it's giving them 5 different perspectives on it for SHIB. All you have to do is go to shibburn.com and have a look for yourself to see. And then you look at the top 100 wall holders and you figure out the top 40 wall holders are holding approximately 80% of the supply. Hey, wait a second. Yeah, wait a second is right. And then you hear there's 84 trillion that's going to be held for the ETFs. That's the entire supply. So what's left for the rest of us to trade? Very little to nothing at all. You're from the Philippines, was about to cash in on that huge spike. Well, if you want to, Adrian, you're more welcome to do it. No one's stopping you. If we're in a bull run, it'll be hard for you to cash in, but you want to buy other altcoins or meme coins that are moving. So if you miss out on this one, there's always opportunity for something else. Okay, SHIB is the only currency reducing itself publicly. I'm going to say that again to everybody who doesn't understand. SHIB, the only reason why we cover SHIB is because it's guaranteed to make you money. It's not guaranteed to make you money, it's guaranteed to make you value for your dollar. So we always want to go back to Mickey Mantle because everybody can relate to a card, a baseball card or a football card that they love, right? And they see the value in that when there's less supply of it, adds the value of it because everybody wants it. Everybody wants to make money. There's not a single soul on the planet that doesn't want to make money. Everything keeps going up. So it just makes common sense, right? You want to buy something that's depleting in supply. Why? Because the more it depletes, the more value it's being added to it. People can't see that value as of yet. But eventually they will. It'll come home to roost. And when it comes home to roost, it is going to explode and make you extremely wealthy if you have the kahunas to stay in it. A lot of us don't. They're fearful that it's going to take a dive. You do know that the ETFs are coming out. They already told you the 84 trillion that's going to be taken out of the market. That's basically the entire supply of SHIB that's being held. So that leaves only a few billion for us to trade. Now, there's what we call a restriction in the amount that you can buy and sell on a daily basis. So if you have a problem with seeing what volume is, and you're starting to see that volume can deteriorate, and then people are starting to go, hey, wait, how come I have to pay more for SHIB than I want to? That's because there's no supply left to barter with. There's no supply. You have to buy it higher. That's just the way it is. You don't like it, well, that's because everybody wants to make money, and everybody's tired of losing money. So what happens? You start to get the squeeze, right? You'll have to pay more. You'll have to pay more for it because there's nothing you or I can do about it. The ETFs are going to continue to make more money in SHIB. The only problem is if it's not a spot ETF, then it's divided over all those different all those different cryptocurrencies that are in there, and there's only one that's got a public reduction in its circulating supply. Only one in the entire world. Only one. That's SHIB. That's why we cover it. That's why we want to educate the entire world in it, so that everybody can become extremely wealthy together. Prosperity, right? But we don't know when. We know it's close. And now with the ETFs coming out, it's made it that much more abundant that it's coming out very, very soon. And that's all we can say about it right now. And we do know for a fact, every single country doesn't want to lose out on that money. So once they start seeing that money rolling in, all of them want to take advantage of it. The question is who's going to be what? We already know who's already first, right? Switzerland was first, then Brazil, and then our T roll is third. Fourth is going to be Grayscale. Looks like they've got theirs coming in. And I know for a fact you're going to have Europe doing it too, right? And they already have theirs for Switzerland. But if they want to go a little bit deeper into it, they're going to be doing it through Denmark. They're going to be doing it through Germany. They're going to do it through Turkey. They're going to want their own because they want the money to stay in their country. And then they got investments from everywhere in Europe. It's going to be amazing, right? Greece, because they're in trouble. Turkey, because they're in trouble. Italy, because they're in trouble. And they see the impact in it. all of a sudden it's a snowball effect, right? The domino effect is later on. So what happens after the domino effect or before the domino effect? We have the snowball effect. Everybody piling in, and then you have all these different branches going out, and that's the domino effect. So we're waiting for that information to come out before that happens. Yeah, I would have been a multimillionaire, Adrian, if I would have taken, if I was in SHIB back in 2021 before the big run up. And then there wasn't ledgers. They had cold storages back then. So you could take your money and put it in cold storage. And then shortly after that, the government started getting their little hands in there with their massive taxes on cryptocurrencies. Like Canada and India, the highest in the entire world, 50%. And Canada hasn't changed their narrative. Okay? Canada hasn't changed their narrative at all. It's still 50% taxable. So half of it is yours, and then half it's taxable. Well, you could say the same thing with capital gains. No, capital gains on stocks, you have 30 days to buy or sell. So you can buy other avenues. And now, because of Carney's in the house, he gives everybody the option of putting it in the U.S. funds. Yay, Carney! And it's tax exemption because that's what he does. He's got tax exemption, so you just follow suit with Carney. Invest in Brookfield. You got tax exemption right there. Right? Then you move it to the Cayman Islands, you're set. You're golden. Can't touch you. As long as you go to the Cayman Islands and collect it. No, you don't have to go to Switzerland anymore. So you just go to the Cayman Islands. Or Costa Rica, but I wouldn't trust the Costa Rican government unless you have good ties with the Costa Rican government. A lot of people say, well, you don't have to. You can just buy a property down there. Well, that's true. You can. But you got to remember to pay the lobbyist. Otherwise, make sure you pay your lobbyists when you go outside the country, especially in third world countries. And those that live in Jamaica, our prayers go out to you, of course, and anyone in the Philippines. In Cebu, our prayers are out with you too because of the typhoons there. They had a category 5 typhoon in the Philippines in Cebu. It's literally washed out streets and completely devastated Cebu. So massive show to Cebu and everybody that's in Cebu. Our hearts and our feelings go with you, as always. And our prayers are deeply consolidated for the Philippines. What happens there is just unbelievable. Just looking at the pictures is just insane. The amount of devastation that they've gone through. And same thing with Jamaica. Our hearts bleed for you in Jamaica because of the typhoon that came in. It was a category 4, I believe, in Jamaica. Just devastated Jamaica. Jamaica is, again, same sort of idea. Just absolutely mayhem. In Cebu, it seems like it's a lot worse because the houses are actually going down the river. Cars are swimming in the streets, literally just floating. And then there's people in houses. You can wave at them as they drift by. It's sad, very sad. And our hearts bleed for those that are out there and suffering through this. And God bless each and every one of you. And thank you for sharing your prayers and keeping it real. Thank you so much for that. Oh, getting back to SHIB. Hold on to your party hats. AI Sims on SHIB supply accumulation and depletion deep dives. AI is all over SHIB forecast. Crunching burns. Whales. Ecosystem metrics. They want to get into the ecosystem. Accumulates versus depletion. Simulations this week. At this time, tools and moderating is hard. Trying to scarcity plays and pride props. Key vibes. Burns. Driven depletion models. So we've had a couple little scenarios. If you haven't been watching recently, I think, what was it, 4 days ago, we did have burns. They happened every hour, the same, roughly around the same amount every hour, on the hour, for about 6 hours. 6 times, same amount, roughly the same amount. Wasn't the exact same amount, but it was roughly the same amount from the exact same wallet address. That was burning the literally hour by hour. So every 60 minutes. So that's key notes. Whale accumulation plays, on-chain AI scans show 4.6 trillion. 64 million scooped up by whales in the third quarter. Over days. Right now we're at 4010123. And we have a red candle. Slightly red candle. And it looks 36% positive, 63% negative. Right now. That changes in a heartbeat though. We have 3.65 trillion changing hands, which is very small. So light volume, guys and girls, ladies and gentlemen of all ages. That's very small for SHIB. So if we start seeing the same effects that we had last time on the last bull run, SHIB would be flying right now. There would be very little selling and a massive amount of buying. Why? Last time they was between $4 and $5 billion in transactions every day. So how much is that? Approximately 40 trillion SHIB trading hands per day. 40 trillion per day trading hands, right? No, it's more than that. Yeah, it's like half the supply. It's like 500 and 300 trillion changing hands every day. So that's massive, right? It's like almost the entire supply changing hands every 2 days. The entire supply changing hands every 2 days. Can you imagine? That's how many people are buying and selling. That tells you how many trades are happening every second, right? And they wonder why the exchanges aren't burning it. That's a good question. Might want to bring that up with them, because if they're burning it, that means the higher the volume. Higher the volume, the more money they make. So it makes more sense, right? To what? For the exchanges to burn SHIB, because it's constantly adding value to every single one of them that's doing it. Exactly. So how come they're not doing it? Good question. You have to bring that up with them. Binance was burning SHIB as of late. They haven't burned it. They were supposed to burn it October 3rd. They didn't. Just so that everybody understands that concept. And if all the other exchanges did it, would be what? Or 500 billion every quarter being reduced. That would be massive. That would start a precedent. And every single one of us that was in SHIB would be telling everybody, you might want to get your butt in it. Because if you don't, you're going to miss out on getting it at a very, very cheap rate. Because it's not going to last. Shadow. Okay, so if you look at the previous notes, we had a 4 to 5x move back in 2024 in March. Okay? 5 to 6 times your money in less than a month. 4 years ago, you would have watched 72 million% gain in SHIB, literally turning your $50 that you invested into multi-million dollars in 3 months. 3 months. Made you a multi-billionaire on your $50, $60 investment. That's insane. That's why everybody loves SHIB. But they still didn't get the concept. And trust me, Vitalik Buterin, who created it, also had Ethereum. And SHIB is based in Ethereum as an RC20 token. And they still didn't get it, because if they would have done even 10% of whatever they made off of SHIB's run, they invested 10% back into it, they would have gotten 100x out of it. It's like the insanity just never stops. And it just baffles me why they didn't continue it. Like, it's just unreal. And Mark Anthony's like, yeah, if they would have continued it, I would have been a multimillionaire. And I absolutely agree with Mark Anthony on it. Mark Anthony wouldn't have been early. He would have been just in the right place at the right time, because the rest of us are all like, why didn't they continue doing it? That's a good question. It's a good question. You have to take it with Vitalik Buterin, and they're still not doing it. I have no idea why. Vitalik Buterin was able to do it as a tax write-off, guys. He used it to write off against his taxes that he owed the Canadian government and the European government. After he did the burn, he owed nothing. He was given the supply. He owed billions of dollars in taxes. After he did the burn in the giveaway, he owed nothing. Sound suspicious at all? Absolutely. Like he must have had something to do with SHIB creation, right? Ali. Things are heating up. If you haven't noticed, it went from basically 509 all the way up to 40102. Was it? Yeah, 0253 was the high of today. And SHIB does this. What do they call it? Fake out? No, it's not a fake out. It's a breach. So it goes up. People start taking profit. Trickle, 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 trickle. Boom! Spike up. If it's a bull run. If it's a bull run. Now, are we in a bull run? We have a lot of catalysts for SHIB right now. A lot of ETFs, a lot of EPTs, a lot of spot ETFs coming out in the next little while. So you're about to see something happen in SHIB that you're going to be very proud of if you're in it. Of course, if you're in SHIB, it's hard to say that you're ever going to lose money in it. You just got to have patience. And I hate that word. You have to have wisdom. Right? When you go to the Bible, you don't ask for patience because you'll be tested in patience. If you go to the Bible and ask for wisdom, God will give you the wisdom to make an informed decision. Makes sense, right? Anything that's constantly reducing its circulating supply, and it's global, and anyone and everyone can do it from anywhere at any time, can reduce the supply. It doesn't have any restrictions whatsoever. It can't be replenished whatsoever. So it's similar to a Mickey Mantle card or a Hans Wagner card. The supply goes, the value goes up. Now, it took 70 years for Mickey Mantle's card to reach $12.6 million over a course of 70 years. How long will it take for SHIB, knowing that every single person on the planet, every corporation can reduce the supply? We got the book coming out for corporations, the lifeblood of capitalism. Looking at the fast food chain in America, no, fast food chain in the world, to help them explore how they're going to be able to make money utilizing SHIB, turn their between $24,000 a year to $75,000 a year return into $225,000 minimum to $990,000 return on their investments. And all they're doing is taking the timestamp, doubling down on it, using it as a tax relief for their investment strategy through their R&D. We don't like to say R&D, right? It's through investment strategies. So it's a process of education in their platform for financial gain. So basically, just like you're with an R&D fund, what the R&D fund does is, oh, we want to invest in this new technology. It's the exact same idea. We're investing into education of a new technology to find out if reducing the circulating supply of SHIB is actually adding value to our bottom line. And you're able to do that for 3 to 5 years. So imagine every corporation being able to take advantage of that 3 to 5 years. And that's what the book is about, for everybody that doesn't know. Are you talking about XRP? No, we're not talking about XRP. XRP is great. It's a fantastic currency. It just doesn't have the capabilities that SHIB does. Star bars. Star bars. SHIB star bars XRP. Fantastic. I love it. I love it, ball cap. So we're getting right into the burns. I know everybody's waiting for the burns. So I thought I'd share that information with you. I thought it was very positive to share with every single one of you about the AI, about the ETFs, about the EPTs, about Grayscale doing their own spot ETF in SHIB in the United States of America. And we're about to see it explode, absolutely, because we're going to have more ETFs coming for SHIB as everyone starts to focus in on how much money that's going to generate for SHIB. Plus, it's going to take the circulating supply and start spreading it out throughout the world, which is something we're looking forward to. And it solidifies what? Staking. Absolutely. It solidifies the staking of SHIB because it's going to take it out of the marketplace, right? So all that currency is going to be taken out and held in that ETF. And of course, every single country in the world wants to make money. XRP. Okay, so the things about XRP that we can talk about. Anybody? We'll get right into the nuts and bolts of XRP. Burning. So every time there's a transaction in XRP, there's a small percentage from the ecosystem team that they burn through their system. Okay? No, you can't burn it. Individuals can't burn XRP. So it's through the governance of XRP that burns XRP. So all the people buying it and selling it, a small percentage of it is going towards the reduction of XRP. It's not publicly burning. SHIB is the only currency in the world that doesn't make any more. So it can't replenish anything that it made. Once it's gone forever. No, we didn't say XRP is trash. We just say that XRP is different. The governance gives it the ability to have an ecosystem development team that designs how they want to do the transactions on XRP. That's why XRP has done so well in the last little while, because what they were doing was they're competing with different aspects of trading money over a blockchain through their own blockchain held up by Ripple. Remember, Ripple owns 48% of XRP. So a lot of people don't like that. And they don't understand it. So remember that when you're dealing with XRP, that you're dealing with Ripple. Ripple owns 48%. Now, that's the corporation side of it. What about the CEO, the CFO, the board of directors? Do they hold any XRP? Because they haven't disclosed any of that. So please keep that in mind. Randall. Omega. Alpha and the Omega. Alpha. No. You shouldn't sell it yet. XRP is still worth about $12 USD through a bull run. So why would you sell it? Now, I know what you're saying. That's only 4x from here. SHIB is 50x. We can't give you advice. I'm not your financial advisor. I'm not your analyst. I don't know We know that SHIB will fly. We just don't know when. And if it happens tomorrow, I'm sorry that you missed out, right? We can't, you have to make those informed decisions on your own, unfortunately. Yes, you're looking at 50x if we're in a bull run. Remember, if we're in a bull run. I'm not telling you that we are. Okay? You got to watch the signs. And look at the last 4 years from the last 4-year cycle. So the first thing that went was the altcoins. XRP is one of those altcoins. Those are usually the first ones to go. So ADA, XRP, Ethereum, Solana, all those, Polygon, DOT. Those are the first ones to go. Those are the ones to get the big spike up. And then it's the meme coins. And unfortunately, SHIB is considered a meme, even though it's not, right? And it lost its meme status the moment Vitalik Buterin created the dead-end wallets. HBAR. I love HBAR. HBAR is awesome. And you're going to see a run if this is a bull run. Right, ball cap. You got to remember, if. Don't like saying for, like, we're not definitive. Please, please, please be reminded of that. We're not definitive. We're not giving you definitive reaction to it. So please be aware of that. We love HBAR, but it's a governance token. So please be aware of that. Just like DOT is a governance token. Just like XRP is a governance token. Okay. Controversial. There you go. Why would you bring up Terra for? Oh, we're having such a great night. You brought up Terra. Terra was a downturn and caused a lot of grief in the entire cryptocurrency resolve of 2022. Okay. Once Terra Classic was taken advantage of by DeFi, a whole bunch of DeFi stages were giving out lots and lots of money, because what they were doing was they were able to trade Terra Luna Classic on the upscale and downscale through their transverse staking. So you're able to make 2 to 3% per day on your return, which was phenomenal. So what was people doing? They were buying into this through third parties, even though the warnings, everything's out there about third parties, right? Everybody knows about third parties. When you buy into a third party, you're putting your money in their hands. They're using it to trade to make themselves some money and give you a little bit of money back in return. So they're taking zero risk on themselves, but they're also using your money to do it. So with Terra Luna Classic, they found a loophole. They took advantage of it. Terra Luna Classic saw the loophole. They shut the door on it. All these third parties were holding the money, and they weren't releasing it. Some of them didn't release any of the currency, any of the money back to the people. And some did, but only a very, very small amount went back to the people. And the Terra Luna Classic, how do they want to fix it? Oh, we're going to mint 6 trillion coins. Governance, right? They minted 6 trillion. The whole Classic, Terra Luna Classic, drove down. Terra Luna, sorry. Not Terra Luna Classic. Terra Luna went way down, 10 zeros. Like, people just got flushed. It went from $265 down to below SHIB's price, and then shot right back up. So if you got in, you made a lot of money very, very fast. Star, please, 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 please. This is very important. Everybody, please pay attention. Whenever you have SHIB, just say you have over 5 million. Is that enough? And it is. Anything over 5 million SHIB is enough. Okay? But if you want a dollar cost average, please treat it like a lottery ticket. Only buy what you can afford to lose. Absolutely. With a lottery ticket, if you lose your money in a lottery ticket, what do you say? Ah, crap, I got robbed. But what happens? Next lottery ticket, you buy more. Sorry about that. Right? So we don't like to give advice. We recommend that that's how you treat it. So if you see it going down, DCA in if you want, or sell it and wait for it to bottom out. Where you figure it bottoms out, take your chances. But you're taking your chances in a cryptocurrency that's continuously reducing its circulating supply. Please be aware of that. Very, very important. Public burns are insane. Anywhere and everyone can do it. It's a way of printing money for organizations because they get paid to burn it. I'm going to say that again. They get paid to burn SHIB. They haven't figured it out because if they had, SHIB would already be at $10, $20, $30. It would already be there. They haven't figured it out, trust me. So once they figure it out, it won't take long and it's going to hit massive amounts of liquidity. Right? Everybody's going to want a piece of the pie. And then everybody will be like, oh, it's gone up 30 to 40%. I could probably take some profits. Yes, you can, but you're taking a huge gamble because you're betting that everybody else is selling. When they know for a fact it's constantly adding value. It's like buying a Mickey Mantle card and saying, well, I sold it for $4 and it's only worth about $4.40 right now. And then next month it's worth $10. And you're like, well, I'll wait for it to come down. Not realizing that there's less supply. That's the reason why it went up in the first place, is because there was a fire and the person had 20 Mickey Mantle cards. Well, those 20 Mickey Mantle cards are worthless. But the rest of the ones that are available, all of a sudden, hey, they're worth double the price. Yeah, that's what happens when you reduce something that everybody else wants. And trust me, who doesn't want to make more money? That's the gamble. Because that's what you're gambling against. You're gambling that people won't find out about it. And so far, a lot of people have been right about it. Well, here's the thing about XRP, right? The ETF actually helps it. SHIB renders it. It holds that supply, so you can't reduce it. XRP is actually a store of value in the ETF. So it's actually beneficial to you because the ecosystem team, Ripple, are not going to buy into the ETF through their money. So the 48% being held, that's actually held outside. So the ETF actually holds your money. So it gives you that store of value. So that's very, very positive for XRP. Very, very positive. But the problem is with XRP, it's now focused on, well, we already got the row coming in, and it's got XRP in it, along with 15 other cryptocurrencies. So it gets spread out over those 15. Does that make sense? Got it? So it's not in a spot ETF. If it was in a spot ETF, it would actually be better for XRP. Hey, Joey's in the house. Hello, Joey. How are you? If you haven't already, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you can. It's getting robbed. How's the SHIB doing today? It's doing fantastic, Joey. It's up and away, up and away. We have ETFs coming out. We have EPTs already out. We already have ETF in Brazil on SHIB, but it's also in a basket of cryptocurrencies. In there, Solana's in there. ADA's in there. It's the same kind of basket that our T-Row has for SHIB that's coming out in November. So please be aware of that. The burns 3 hours ago from D94CB. That's a wallet holder. That's a wallet address. Burned 277,000 SHIB today. Massive love show to them. Okay, same address, CD94CB. Burned 277,000 SHIB 3 hours ago. Same wallet address. 4 hours ago, 109. That's from the Shibarium, right? That's on the Shibarium blockchain. Someone burned 109. Only way you're going to burn that low is on the Shibarium blockchain network. Joey, how are you? I'm still under the weather, Joey. I'm giving you this broadcast because I know how important people are waiting for the AI news on SHIB. So 4DE 3E27 burn 73,000 SHIB. 1234 DBD no B40 burned 987,000 SHIB. And then, of course, we had the 69,420 burn by 12 CB2. And then 20 hours ago, we had a 2,555,000 burn done by 3CD, 3CB, 7270 wallet address. So for all those that are in and are new to the channel, make sure you hit the like button, subscribe to the channel when you can. And thank you so much for everybody for coming. Absolutely love it when you come in and say hi. What else we got going on, guys? Valor, talked about that on Wednesday. That's the Switzerland ETF, or EPT, sorry. ETF for Brazil. Border multi-asset ETF global by Grayscale. 1 to 2% with 50 billion project. 2025 inflows to alts. SHIB could neg 100 to 300 million. You heard that right. 200 to 300 million dollars taken out of circulation into the ETF. That is right. I'm from Finland. Yeah, there you go. I thought you're from Norway. You keep changing your mind. Bull run. 200 million bar escape slow approval. 7 to 700 million bull rapid adoption and burn hype. Math for supply swallowed by lockup calculations. So if that's the case, it's 22.2 trillion SHIB locked up. And it could go to 100x, so it would be 220 trillion locked up. In order for that to happen, there's a lot of things that have to be positive. I don't think it's possible, personally. I don't think that Grayscale is going to get anywhere near 220 trillion. 22 trillion? Yes. And then with the other one, what was the other one? 1.7 trillion. That's possible. More than possible. Base case 400 million. 44 trillion. 700 million. 77 trillion. 13.2%. $1.993% Q3 surge amplified by scarcity. We're looking at a possible price target of roughly around that half a cent. That's right. Oh, sorry, Joy. You live in Norway. You're from Finland. Excellent. So you know that Sweden has an EPT that you could have bought your EPT SHIB through, right? It's traded on the European stock exchanges. So apparently everyone in Europe can buy the EPT Switzerland exchange. And SHIB is in there. Yes, it is. It is in there like a dirty shirt. So that anyone and everyone can buy it, so that you could solidify your position knowing that your risk on asset is secured. ZR. Odie. Just going to call you Odie. Okay, Odie. For one, there isn't a quadrillion onions. There's only 589 trillion left. Okay, and out of those 589 trillion, there's only approximately 84 trillion left in circulation. Everything else is taken off the market. So do you understand that, Odie? Odit. I need to know if you understand that concept. I know what you're saying. Oh, there's 1 quadrillion. No, there's not 1 quadrillion. Oh, zero. DDT. There you go. DTE. Zeroed it. Very good. Sorry about that, zeroed it. Trade gold. There you go. Absolutely, Joy. Absolutely. We're going to be on the Viking cruise. We'll send you tickets. Be a man. There you go. Zero. So what is it that you want to know? I can give you the rundown. I'll have you look up something, okay? If you're interested, would you mind looking up something for me? Okay, hold on a second. I'm going to get right in here. Okay, hold on a second. I'm going to get right in here. Oh, there's an echo. So there it is. Master, there you go. Master. Hello, Master. How are you? Viking Cruise, you love it? Yeah, there we go. Ball cap. You want to go to ball cap? What's new with SHIB? Switzerland has announced. How come no one tells me these things? You're in Norway. Finland is your home. Switzerland announced back in February that they had an ETF of SHIB, EPT of SHIB that's traded throughout Europe. And that was done several months ago. Okay, Zero. There's nothing I can sell you. Or I can't even entertain you. That's the worst part. I can't even entertain you. Because you believe that it's from China. If SHIB were from China, SHIB would have been $12, $14 right now. No, sorry, $3,000 right now. If SHIB was from China. Because there's no way all those mathematicians in China would ever let SHIB be traded anywhere else in the world except for in China and increase the amount of GDP per capita throughout the entire world. They would have taken absolute control of the financial industry through SHIB. There's no way they would have let that slip through their fingers. I'm shocked that they're letting it slip through their fingers now. It just doesn't make much sense to me. I don't live. I know you don't live in Finland, Joey. I know you live in Norway. All the major exchanges. Okay, Binance. Where's Binance located? Where's ZZ? ZZ is the CEO of Binance. Where's he? Where's his allocation? You're visiting Finland. Oh, congratulations. Shanghai. Oh, okay. ZZ's in the UK, by the way. Biggest of the cryptocurrencies is in Europe. I'm afraid to say. Okay? He's not Chinese. He's European. Okay, what about Crypto.com? Crypto.com is a US-based company, organization. That's why all their funds is in USD. Everything that they have is based in USD. The biggest cryptocurrency in the entire world is sitting in China. That's what you're saying. 9459. What should we do? Treat SHIB like a lottery ticket. That's the best suggestion I can make for anyone. Unlike gold, Zero, my hero, unlike gold, you can't put $10 into gold and get much in return, even if it doubles in value. SHIB costs you $10.40 to buy 1 million SHIB. At 50 times your money, that's worth something. That's worth something. Can it get there? Absolutely. Do we know when it's going to? We have no idea. My crystal ball doesn't work. If I was a betting man, I would have bet you any money in September that October would have been massively exploding, just like it did 4 years ago. Took 28 days from the 1st of October to hit all-time highs and go 100x your money in 28 days. 100x your money. Now, I don't know about you, but when was the last time you put your money in anything that went 100x? Here you go, Joey. So, but it didn't happen, right? Last month did not happen. So, will it happen this month? Time will tell. But we have some good news coming out. The ETFs are definitely coming out in not just for SHIB, but XRP, Solana, a whole mountain, 14, 15 different cryptocurrencies, all the top 25, all taken from the top 25. Someone asked me earlier about HBAR. HBAR wasn't listed in one of those. That doesn't mean anything. Once the bull run happens, everything explodes. Certain ones go up higher than others. Can we see similarities in SHIB? The only reason why we love SHIB so much, constantly being able to add value to every single wallet holder on the planet. Because anyone and everyone from around the world can reduce the circulating supply of SHIB. We keep telling you about it because we want to make sure we install that through your brain. Yes, living in Alberta, Calgary, hosting the SHIB TV live broadcasting network in your living room, in your bathroom, in your kitchen, wherever it is that you are, workbench, at home, on the road, on the bus. We're educating you, trying to get through to you of what SHIB should mean to you. When does Alberta live in Canada? We should have left already, in my opinion. My personal opinion only. We should have left Alberta. We should have left Canada a long time ago. As soon as Trudeau, second term, we should have been out of there. Because we were being segregated with less and less votes in the House of Commons. That means we were being thrown out. Basically, our votes don't count. So anytime you have that happening, that's scandalous, right? Someone's throwing the votes in their favor. When we're getting more and more population growth in our province, and then treating us like Saskatchewan, treating us like Manitoba, treating us like the Maritimes, where they only have 200 to 300,000 people per capita, and we have over 5 million people in our province, and we're being treated just like they're being treated. And we're the ones with the backbone that's supplying the rest of Canada, and we have no say in the House of Parliament. We should have left a long time ago. Because what's happening is we're being segregated out. We're the infidels. We're being sent away. Shut up and pay. We make the money. We help subsidize the rest of Canada, but we have no say in Parliament. That is wrong. That is definitely wrong. And there's something wrong with that statement. And then they want to what? Landlock us, entitlement, where we can't send our product to market. We can't. There's no way we can send our market to product because we haven't paid enough money to the House of Commons. You kidding me? We don't have a say in Parliament, but you want us to pay more while you restrict the amount of product that we can send to the world. Who does that? Which country in the world holds back their profits? To what? To what end? So that you can... I have no idea why they would... Why would anyone do that? You want to stop prosperity? For what reason? Why would you want to do that? Why do you want to hurt yourself that badly that you feel that damaged that we can't help you? Like, you're basically just committing suicide. You don't want to help yourself, but you want the money from us. That constant money they want. And that money would grow if we could get our product to market. So I don't get it. Why would you restrict the most valuable asset that you have on the planet? You don't see Saudi Arabia saying, hey, wait a second. If we restrict our oil, they'll be paying more for it. Or they'll just go somewhere else. Oh, yeah, we don't want to do that. We want to act like we're restricting our oil, so they'll pay more for it. But we'll actually be pumping out 10 times more than we have to, because Alberta, they're nuts. They're still in Canada. Canada's telling them that they can't put out anymore. So we're making even more money, and those suffering bunch of yo-yos in Canada don't get it. That's exactly what's happening. It's exactly what's happening. You can't get your product to market, so it causes everybody to pay more for theirs. So who's benefiting from it? You know, the whole idea is to build jobs. Everybody wants to build jobs. How are you going to build jobs if you keep stranglehold of the corporations that are coming into your country and allowing them to do less profit? Who wants to be part of that? Who wants to invest in that? Nobody does. Everybody wants out. So that's the whole truth of it. Anyway, we got sidetracked from SHIB. We don't like doing that because SHIB is what? Financial gains. Prosperity for everyone. Prosperity for everyone. That's what we want. Wealth creation for every single person on the planet. That's exactly our what we strive for. We want to educate everybody in SHIB. Reducing the circulating supply increases value to every single one of you. That's what we want. We want to see that for every single one of you. That's why we say live long and prosper. John 3:16, God so loved the world that he gave his only begotten Son, the Lamb of God, who gaveth away to take away the sins of the world. All knowing, right? And then resurrection of the body. So the born again, giving your life to Jesus Christ. Amen. God bless each and every one of you. So taking Jesus Christ into your life through John 3:16. So anyone wants to read John 3:16, be more than welcome to have you come in and share that so you can give your life to Christ. Because all of us are sinners. Not one of us are without sin. So we have to go through God because we are sinners. Yes, bye, Joey. God bless you. Take good care of yourself and your family. And Sunday night, roughly around 6 o'clock, that's the next hosting event. So for all those that are interested. And yes, our prayers and our thoughts go out with all the people of the Philippines and Jamaica. Philippines was hit with a terrifying 5 hurricane, level 5 hurricane, fajita scale, right? It is massively, there's a lot of devastation in the Philippines and Cebu. So please, 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 please pray for the Philippines. And how do you pray? You say, thank you, Jesus Christ, for helping those in need in the Philippines. Don't pray like you're asking. Pray that it's already been done for you. Thank you so much. Love yous all. Take good care of each other. Have a great and wonderful night, everybody. We're going to rock you out with Littlest Hobo from Terry Bush. somewhere around here. Somewhere out there. So we had a great night, everybody. TGIF, TGIF, TGIF. Yes, and see you, Joey. Last love shout out to Ball Cap. We'll try and send you that email, Joey. See how things are going. And share with you some inside information so that you can look up some stuff for us. Where I'll always be. Every stop I make a new friend. Come back. Thank you so much. Absolutely appreciate it.